Maybe that's where I get locked down.
I don't know.
You know.
They called me and they said he went into E4 on October 7th, 15 hours straight. I said I was feeling good. So I said, they called me and I said, well, we want to see it. I said, well, next week. Yeah, no more. Okay, we'll be here.
Yeah.
So, we put him on.
Says if it's in
Real radicals. They were afraid I was gonna throw a blood clot, get him a stroke. And so they put him on a beta blocker. Oh my gosh. I got to get out of that for last week. Hi, Jack.
Jack, do you want to sit here?
Here, I'll get it.
No,
Well, so.
sit down, I can't sit very long.
You can't?
Yeah, he's doing better.
We'll be down.
They can't be without him, I suppose.
Yeah, that's 10:30.
I thought you were gonna say he had.
Yep. He's had pacemakers for some time.
That's what all about that is.
And they told her doc, can you wind it up? I'd like a little more power.
I'm a little short on enthusiasm.
They said that's not the problem. We gotta slow you down.
Really?
There's a
Couple trips, emergency. It is, and then you know what it is like there.
That's what he's doing for the last 3-4 months. But their dad passed away.
Now, we really don't have it.
Yeah, it's not much better. And then it's like they're really off.
We're out till 1.
People who go in the bags. Yeah.
No.
Very good.
That's right.
Yeah, but this guy, he says, help me get the combine.
And postcards and stuff.
You know he's feeling better if he wants to be in the car.
Yeah.
Sitting.
Oh, he wasn't running? Right.
He was running. Okay. He runs one of my brothers. I don't need camera feet right now.
You're right, I never even
But,
thought of that.
so just go spring beans.
Get everything done ahead of time.
I just told him, I said, I'm not gonna be the one to tell you no.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, right, okay.
You don't have a driver this time.
Jim, you know what? Our newest combine is 10 years old.
Driverless combine.
Yeah.
And a land.
I know Kinsey, they've had a tractor, a
Makes it much easier now that we know.
go along with the combine.
Yeah.
And John Kinsey, they parked this new pickup in the field, and they headed the tractor straight forward. It did stop.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, I think he was trying to prove a point, I don't know.
It did stop though.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's too
Well,
bad.
you know, that's what you don't want anybody to see.
No, he's gonna have to hear from you.
It's the same way.
Hey, John,
Yes, sir.
put your name on here and send that around.
Sure can. We're not exactly, yeah, you forgot yours.
Laura, no.
I always make sure he's in the minutes.
I kinda stick out. She even gets Trevor's name in there when he's here not wearing uniform, so I think they know us.
Good morning, everyone. It's 9 o'clock. Start the public comment. We'll start with pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please limit your comments to 5 minutes. Got something he wants to talk about here. He thought he wants about 10 minutes, so you folks can get started.
Good morning, I'm John Winkelfleck, a fourth-generation Tama County crop and livestock farmer from Dyser. I am speaking today on behalf of the Tama County Against Turbines as the coalition's chairman. Tomorrow marks an important day in our democracy. It's Election Day. It's a day for the voice of the people to be exercised as they cast their votes in the general election. We encourage you two to listen to the voice of the people and enact a moratorium on any new industrial wind projects, as we, the people, have been asking you to do consistently since April. We started this process in the spring as we were planting crops. We have continued to educate and inform you every week since. As the size and strength of our coalition grows and as harvest draws to close, a new supervisor will be elected in District 1 tomorrow. We wish candidates Randy Brodigan and Kurt Helmer of Dyser well as their campaigns draw to a close. We know that regardless of who is elected to District 1 supervisor seat, either of them will represent the voice of the people in calling for updates to the county's outdated commercial wind energy ordinance and solar regulations. Those updates are needed to better protect the people of Tama County, our land, our lives, our health, and our public safety. It's also important to enact more strict land use regulations to protect our precious farmland for current and future generations, because agriculture is the biggest contributor to the economy in Tama County. As elected officials, we remind you to listen to the people who actually live, work, and pay taxes here. Not those from Florida, or Illinois, or Virginia, or anywhere else who only want to exploit our land and our lives for their own profits by littering our county with industrial wind or solar projects. We also remind you to be honest and truthful in your roles as public officials. You took an oath of office to follow the law, and to be honest and truthful in your dealings to serve the public, not your own interests. And the public expects you to do that. Our offer to work with you to update Tama County's outdated commercial wind energy and solar ordinances still stands. So let's talk. We commend the citizen members of the zoning board who are taking the initiative to update those minimal, outdated ordinances to better protect everyone in Tama County. We remind you that our neighbors in Butler and Grundy County are listening to their citizens and are taking the necessary steps to update their wind ordinances. So why are you so opposed to taking any action in Tama County? Help us understand why you choose to do nothing and let outside developers do as they please in Tama County. If you have nothing to hide, now's the time to explain yourselves. Now's the time to speak up. Why you cling to saying nothing in public meetings or hiding behind no comment? If you have nothing to hide, why do you continue to have meetings after the public meetings with your HR and insurance administrator, Tammy Wise, in violation of the Iowa Open Meetings Law? If everything you and County Zoning Administrator Todd Apfel have done in your roles is honest and above board, why not speak openly and publicly and be proud of what you have done, instead of being ashamed of your actions? You know what you've done. Perhaps that's why you can't or won't speak openly in public meetings. The public knows you committed nepotism in handpicking Tammy Wise's daughter, Amanda Kriegel, to serve as the acting county treasurer. You appointed Amanda Kriegel before the June 7th primary election. Despite your claims, you didn't appoint Amanda until after the primary. You clearly committed nepotism by appointing Tammy Wise's daughter, Amanda Kriegel, as acting county treasurer on April 12th. That was just in time for Amanda's name to be the only one on the election ballot in time for the June primary election. And you never publicly acknowledged that she's Tammy Wise's daughter, in violation of Iowa's nepotism law. What a coincidence.
Your 5 minutes is up, John.
And then you have the nerve last week to try and distort the truth and call out the citizens who have appointed the nepotism in county government by writing letters to the editor. You are not Tama County censors. You should not act as dictators either. As elected officials, you cannot deny the public their right to freedom of speech. You are elected public officials for the remainder of your existing terms. It is unethical for a mother, as in Tammy Wise, to be in charge of the county's personnel.
John, we're gonna have to stop now.
I'm just about done.
Well, so.
And for her daughter, as in Amanda Kriegel, to be in charge of county taxpayer funds.
Okay, John, that's enough.
Do you wanna respond to that, Bill, Amanda?
Amanda Wise,
Kriegel.
was appointed on April 12th. Larry admits he was wrong when he said it was after the primary, but it was April 12th. That was after she had taken out papers and turned papers in to run for the position.
That deadline was March 25th.
That deadline was March. So we done everything right.
Did you advertise the position?
Yes, we advertised the position. We asked in the office if anybody in that office wanted the job, and they did not. So we appointed the only one that had taken out papers.
Where did you advertise for that? Was it in the Tama Toledo or the?
It was in the Tama Toledo paper, the Traer paper, on my Facebook, and on Tama County's website. That's why she wasn't appointed until the 12th, even though the treasurer left on the 8th. We had to wait the 10th.
We had to wait.
I had heard that the other person running had mentioned before the appointment that she was also interested in running and in the position, yet you still appointed Amanda without any other discussion. Is that true?
She did not take out papers. She said she changed her mind and didn't turn in papers.
It was my understanding she did not know of the opening until after the deadline, because she actually signed Amanda Kriegel's papers at about 4 o'clock on the 25th. So,
I can't speak to that.
I can't address it either, but that's what I was told. So if you advertised it, it was not advertised very well.
It was
Well,
on the
that's
web
how we-
pages, it was in the
We do
paper.
it, all of them, all of openings. And especially when there's going to be an appointment, and they need to make an appointment. After they had asked if staff and the treasurer's office wanted to be appointed, and they said no.
Did Kathy let you know that she was interested in the position before Amanda was appointed?
She came in and I believe she asked my election clerk some questions about it, and had a couple phone calls, and then said, nope, I don't think I want this position. I can't say the exact words, I wasn't involved in that conversation, but that's how I understand it.
Alright, well, I'm Heather Knebel, I'm gonna finish here. So, it is unethical for a mother, as in Tammy Wise, to be in charge of the county's personnel, and for her daughter, as in Amanda Kriegel, to be in charge of county taxpayer funds. From a checks and balances system, that is not an acceptable business practice to have a mother and a daughter handling personnel and funds, two of the most important aspects of county government. Despite you trying to control everything that goes on in Tama County, the people are on to you and Tammy Wise in your deceptive ways. Voters know that Amanda Kriegel is not the most qualified candidate to serve as county treasurer. And in your hearts, you have to know that too. The people certainly do. And in the time each of you have remaining in your terms, we encourage you to be honest, speak the truth, not your distorted version of the facts. In the time each of you have left in your terms as supervisors, you have the opportunity to change, you have the opportunity to listen to our coalition, the largest, strongest, and the most effective group ever to address you. So the other point I wanted to mention is
We'll just stop right there. As far as Amanda's qualifications, she's very qualified. And she has,
I thought it was in this paper right here.
so she's as qualified as anybody.
Yeah.
I thought in the paper when she did her blurb or whatever, it said her qualifications were South Tama High School accounting.
South Tama High School, what?
Accounting at South Tama High School?
She received a degree.
She has an accounting degree from college. She worked for a county before. She's done taxes for 8 to 10 years. And before she was appointed here, she was the financial person at the Veterans Home.
which college was it?
I don't know off the top of my head what college. But yes,
So she is qualified.
she is qualified, and I did check her qualifications.
Very well qualified.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is typically when you have family members hired, you're supposed to let the public know. I think that's another one of the big things, like we were trying to drive home. If you ever hire in, whether it's siblings, anything, I mean, you need to let the public know. Especially with different last names, not everybody's gonna know, right? So. The other part I wanted to bring up on my side is, our neighbors to the north, Butler and Grundy County, they are both going through the process. Butler County, they're like, yep, we need to update ordinances. The zoning got right together, they had all their different meetings, they did their, public hearing. Then it went to the supervisors for Butler County. And they did the 3 different public hearings as well, and they just unanimously approved here last week. And their ordinances are very good. I think you guys should definitely take a look at that. As well as, you know, we're letting you know the planning and zoning team, it's a neighbor of ours, right? Both Grundy and Butler are very close, very similar situation. They have high CSR. Their ordinances are fantastic. Grundy as well, their ordinances are a little bit different. It's kind of a group that's helping both of them. Grundy's going through the steps as well. Pretty good chance that one's gonna go through too. Like I said, it may not be as much in it, but it's very good as well. So your neighbors are seeing that the ordinances need updated. We know one wind farm was approved, but this is to stop future projects, or at least not stop them, but regulate them, right? Ordinances help govern. It's no different than, you know, police have, you know, different fines for speed limits. I mean, we need some governing in this county, so I welcome you guys to, in your free time, look at Grundy and Butler. They have out there, they keep everything on their websites, even drafts of what they're doing. Them as well as a lot of other neighbors are doing the same thing in Iowa, so welcome you guys to go take a look at that.
Okay, thank you for your comments. Kendall? You have some comments for us about the radio project?
Yeah, so we're getting close to we're at the billing milestone 4, which is another 30% of the project cost, which is going to pretty much close out the project. We'll have roughly $600,000, almost $700,000 outstanding after this. So they'll have, they've got a punch list, some punch list items they're gonna have to do, like the Trayer, the Trayer paging system up there. They got a couple gaps that they're gonna fill. Toledo paging down here, there's a couple gaps, and by gaps I mean they're really small, so small that if you're sitting in the fire station, you actually will not get a page in certain spots. In one of my offices, you will not get a page in a certain spot. You move your pager 2 feet, you'll get it. So they're gonna put up some boosters and take care of those. They want to expand some generator alarms, so when the generators run at the different tower sites, remember that the design was 5 tower sites. Each tower site's got a generator. It's designed in a ring system, so if there's a failure on one microwave link, the other links will pick it up, so you continue to have that communication. This building milestone is $1,994,000. So that's some change. I don't believe you've got the bill yet for that. Is that
No,
correct?
I don't have that bill.
Okay.
I know it's coming.
It's coming, so that'll be, it's obviously not in your claims this week, then it'll most likely be there next week. I visited with Laura, and it probably won't get paid till towards the end of the month, correct?
Right, we need to do a budget amendment.
Right. The system's working very well. We've had beneficial use of it since January of this year. I'm sure the officer in the corner over there can tell you if it's working well or not.
It's much better than the old system.
The old system, and I'm sure you can attest to this, we could actually see each other and talk. But when you keyed up your radio, you couldn't talk on a radio. You could throw your radio and hit the other guy. So, is that about kind of what you had with your portables? You probably had a little bit better reception.
We'd be literally holding our radios in the air trying to talk, and they still didn't work. With our portables, we don't have that issue now. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's so much better than what we had before. I personally haven't ran into now, because the sheriff has appointed me to be in charge of the jail. I'm not out as much as the patrol deputies, but I personally haven't had any areas that I've encountered where my portable radio does not work within this county. But the caveat to that is, like I said, I'm not out and about nearly as much as the guys that are on patrol. And I've talked back from Vinton to Marshalltown, portable to portable. Even at half bars.
Yeah, I've been in Cedar Rapids and called back, and it works flawlessly. You can talk just like you're here in town, and that's all because of the Sarah network. So
It's a lot clearer than the old ones.
Yeah, yeah. So they got those items to finish up. And then, but the warranty period starts, as soon as you write that check. So, there will be a year warranty on the radios, it's a year on the radios and 2 on the hardware. So.
How does it work in buildings? Does it work pretty good in buildings?
Yeah, so in buildings is 95% portable coverage throughout our county. To give you an idea how well it does work, I was in the tunnels of the juvenile home, which is all concrete, reinforced concrete, and I was able to call out on a portable. Now, when I got to a certain spot in that tunnel, I couldn't call out, but when I got away from the buildings. But as long as I was fairly close to that, I could call out, I could hear just fine, so.
That used to be an issue in
That-
buildings.
Yeah, that was an issue, yeah.
I tested mine with the steel roof also.
Right.
Yeah, and mine with the, inside of one of my buildings is 3 layers of steel, a layer of concrete, it's still going through, so. It's really a pretty good system.
Good.
And Marshall County's going, if they're not on it, I think Marshalltown's on it, aren't they? Marshalltown is, I think Marshall County's working towards it, Benton County's heading towards it. Same system, Powashik County. So what'll happen is it winds up being seamless as you get further away, so.
They'll all kind of interconnect with us.
Other agencies can communicate with the others and everything.
That's
Their
great.
set channels and stuff.
Yep.
That's great.
So, the generator, the expanded generator alarms is just, if a generator runs low on coolant, low on oil, something like that, it'll actually trip an alarm. Kinda like what our big city generators will do. If anything happens with those generators, it actually calls me and tells me one of the generators and here's what's going on with it. So these generators will have the same capability. But, that's coming, wanted to give you a heads up, in case you didn't follow what was going on with the system, and I know you guys have been pretty updated on it, but.
Yeah.
Any questions you have?
Are there any more meetings with, Recount?
Yes, yeah, we're starting to get spaced out a little bit, cause we just have that punch list items to go. But it's not this Monday, I believe, maybe next Monday.
Yeah.
So, but he is changing them, he's spacing them out just a little bit further as things, we don't need to meet as much anymore because there's not as much stuff to go over. So, and I think the one tower's got the ham radio equipment on it now, so they're able to, emergency dispatch if they have to too.
Okay. Thanks a lot for the report.
Thank you.
Any questions for Kendall about the new radio project?
How tall are the towers?
Some of them are 165 feet, I believe.
Okay, and
I don't remember the height of every one
has
of those.
Raycom done the testing as far as,
The drive test?
wind towers, interference?
So that's up to anybody that puts any structure up that could possibly interfere with that microwave path,
Okay,
because those are licensed paths. So if you interfere with it, you're gonna be moving whatever you stuck up in the air.
that's what I figured. So.
It doesn't matter what it is, if it interferes with that microwave path, that's licensed through the FCC, so that will be.
Because I don't want anything interfering with the policeman getting called without me, you know what I mean? So,
And with the old system, everything interfered with that, didn't it?
yeah,
So,
thank you.
Thanks, Kendall.
So you're trying to you're testing out the system right now, and then you pay, and then the warranty starts, and you'll know what the limitations are, if there are any limitations.
Well, the beauty of this is we've been using this system since early January of this year.
Mm-hmm.
So the warranty period actually hasn't started yet, and we've been able to test the system up until now.
Right, and then if they put up the wind turbine fields and the what? And they don't work as well. So then the wind turbine companies are liable for upgrading the system?
Anybody that, they'll just be flat out told they can't put something either in that path or they'll have to fix it. Because if they block that licensed microwave path, that's an FCC issue. So, yeah, they can't do it.
Okay.
They have to do their studies.
Do they know those paths before anything is constructed?
Yes, they should when they put up anything in the air that's gonna be that tall, they should do, I think it's called SHPO study.
Yeah, I forget what it's called.
It's SHPO.
They do the studies more than once, and they're always doing,
Yeah.
checking them.
How wide is that path?
I don't know. I can find out for you. I don't, it's a microwave path, it isn't a very big path. It's got, the towers have to see each other, so that's why some are a little bit taller than others, so.
So they don't all have to connect with the one here in Toledo?
No,
It's just
they,
in between?
so there's the binding tower, there's the, we call it the binding tower, it's over, it's actually by Steve Cook's. Then there's the Tama South Tower, which is down on, what street is that?
465th.
Okay. And then there's the Gladbrook